Recap World Series of Asphalt Racing for Flyin Ryan Luza, sponsored by Jet Motorsports, AMS Roofing, and Nouveau Elevator. This is night 1. Team Jacob. Love you, Tom. Second night of racing, actually the first race. Night 1, rained out.
Ready to go green. Ryan Luza inside lane. Connor Jones outside lane. We are back underway. Pro late models on track for the first time. Night 2 at New Smyrna.
Luza with a great start. He's going to slide to the top side of the racetrack and kind of chop off Connor Jones there. Jones now dipping to the bottom side of the racetrack. First battle for third and fourth.
Chase Johnson on the inside lane. Running the outside lane is Brent Cruz. They complete lap number 1. The Pro Late models here, all about momentum. Right in the middle of the field, we've got them piling up. Big damage, multiple cars crashing into the inside wall. Huge, you see side of row number 1. Connor Jones again on the outside. Green flag, turn 4. Good restart. Back underway at New Smyrna Speedway.
Luza with another good start in that number 77 car. Connor Jones going to try to keep that automobile wound up. One of those young drivers that has been highly touted as he begins his stock car racing career. Field picking up the pace out of turn 4. Green flag back in the air. Let's see what happens down into 1.
And Luza, a Pro Late model veteran, takes him through turns 1 and 2 and looks strong off the second corner. Contact to Cruz from behind. Boy, a lot of contact there from Gavin Bushell.
Couple of young drivers, both of those young men very
to do it in the pros and supers. Coming to green with 25 to go.
It's like Connor Jones getting the power down. Stack them up here at start finish.
There was supposedly no debris on the track.
Them up here in their
Ryan
first
picked
race
high,
of the week.
rolled
This
through
is
in the restart. You see what happened.
Just into the wall, most likely a little
The restart before this wreck happened.
Out in front of you. Pace car heading to pit road. Adam ready to go back green with 25 laps remaining.
Ryan Luza, the leader, gets up to speed quickly in turn number 4 this time. Will shoot out front into the lead. Connor Jones trying to get back to the top, then goes back to the bottom in 1 and 2. Third and fourth there. Chase Johnson top.
Second position. He had a great restart. Now putting some pressure on Ryan
Up
Luza.
once again for the lead. Jones hard into turn 3.
Driving it in deep. He's going to try to make that bottom side work. Going to lead across the stripe. Connor Jones to the top. Ryan Luza now trying.
Ryan
problems. Luza.
Nice job to really slow it down.
Let's take a look at full speed. I'm going to tell you what, he did a really nice job getting that car slowed down. That could have been way worse.
Did a great job. Now we're going to look at it in slow motion once again. This hit won't be as bad as the full speed hit, Charlie. This one doesn't hurt as bad. And there you go.
Just a little
kiss. Yes.
Yeah, just
Series of Asphalt Racing Night 2. Results. Ryan finished 18th after hitting the wall with a flat. Incredible job for the team to finish 18th and then to finish second in points. World Series of Asphalt Racing Night 3. 30 total cars.
get up the pace through turns 3 and 4. Carson Brown on the hammer. Katie Hettinger down to the inside. Can she make it work down into turns 1 and 2? This is where she took the lead.
Good restart for Hettinger off the second corner. Down the backstretch, great run off of turn 2 for Carson Brown. Hettinger drives into 3, keeps it glued to the bottom. Here comes last night's winner, Connor Jones. Is
contact.
There. 3-car battle for the lead with 6 to go.
Here comes Connor.
Night 3 results. This was qualifying. World Series of Asphalt Racing Night 4.
They drive it in turn 3. Keeps his nose in there, checks up, gets back in line in front of Hunter Wright. End of lap 1. Here comes Katie Hettinger to the lead.
Hettinger did not want to give up any ground. She knew that car would get the momentum wound up, but neither did Connor Jones. He didn't want to give it up. They're going to stack him 3 wide again down the backstretch. Jones to the inside. Bichelle stuck in the middle. Gustine to the top side, and Bichelle is sideways.
Oh, contact problems. Last night's winner, Carson Brown. Brent Cruz backs it into the wall, down in front of oncoming traffic. The race car. Oh, there's a bumper.
And look at this, battle for the lead.
Connor Jones moving Katie Hettinger. She falls to the outside lane. Luza is there to the inside as well. All of a sudden, the action heats up. Front of the field, new leader, Connor Jones. Hettinger falls back to 3rd. Is she having problems in the 81?
It's like feeding time at the zoo. They caught some lap traffic, and Connor Jones went into attack mode, as did Ryan Luza. Luza's going to take over the second position. 3. Connor Jones, 10 car lengths the advantage over Ryan Luza through
Maybe
turns
5
3 and
car
4.
lengths, not 10.
Cleanly off the final corner. Ralph Miller's checkered flag in the air.
Ryan, second place here this evening. What were your biggest takeaways from this race?
We got the car a lot better. We've been struggling on the race runs. Really fast in qualifying, so it's good to show some race pace, just to have a little bit of work to do to catch up with Connor and Katie, but hopefully we'll be good come Friday.
It's Ryan Luza, your second place finisher tonight.
Said he got the car better, and that he did, just one spot away from a win, but he's been qualifying the fastest, which puts him with the invert a couple spots or a couple rows back.
World Series of Asphalt Racing Night 5.
3 and 4, trying to build that momentum as we go back green.
Takes a wide turn into turn 1, tries to get a good run from the top down to the bottom. They come close to making contact, maybe a little bit. Luza to take advantage in the 77 up to second. Tries to drive to the inside of Brown for the lead. First and second up for grabs.
It was interesting to see.
Again, taking the high entry into turn 4. Get a run down the front straightaway is Carson Brown, but it's Luza the advantage into turn 1. Brown fighting back to the outside lane. Connor Jones following. Nose to tail single file, and the new leader is the 77 of Ryan Luza.
Luza with a great restart to leapfrog past Carson Brown. Great job not letting him up there. There's the white flag from Ralph Miller. One more time around for Ryan Luza.
Again, upper left of the screen, your leader, Ryan Luza, takes it into turn 3. Will race to turn 4. Luza to the line, sees the checkered in the air, and Ryan Luza wins his first of the week.
No one had anything for that driver, the number 77 here tonight, Ryan Luza.
Congratulations, Ryan, or should I say Flyin, Ryan. You had quite a run there in the final laps, even pulling away. And man, you've had a rough week at that, losing a tire while leading at one occasion. Is this redemption?
Yeah, it feels really good. We finally got the car handling really good. Really good on the long run there. Couldn't ask for anything better. Got to thank AMS Roofing, Nouveau Elevator. Big thanks to Pat and everyone at Jet Motorsports for giving me this opportunity. Really badass car. Hopefully we can be this quick for the 100 lapper on Friday.
You had 2 cars right behind you that were battling it out. How often were you looking at that rearview mirror to see if they were making their way up?
Oh, I never look. That's why we got our spotters.
Congratulations, Ryan Luza.
World Series of Asphalt Racing Night 6.
Inside, Brent Cruz. Outside, Ryan Luza for the third spot.
Luza has had a very fast race car all week long. He's had a couple of nights of really tough luck, but he's also ended up in victory lane here this week. He is working to the outside of Brent Cruz. Ooh, they knocked fenders a couple of times as they work down into turns 1 and 2. Connor Jones trying to find his way underneath both of them in the 44. A good 3-way battle for position.
Luza quick enough, I think, to be out there, but Cruz actually making the work a little bit harder for Luza.
Inside, Brent Cruz, the battle for third. Give it to Jones off of turn 2 is now Ryan Luza to the inside of Brent Cruz. The battle now on for fourth.
Luza side by side for position. The 24 of Cruz up the track at the line. Luza has taken the spot by inches at the stripe that time, trying to clear the 24 of Cruz. Not quite. Ryan Luza, after passing Brent Cruz, has run down Connor Jones. So Luza on the move. This is going to be a tough one to pass, though. This 44 has been outstanding this week.
Underneath.
This might be Katie Hettinger's last chance, depending on how the last night or so goes for the Pro Late models, and she's closed the gap. In fact, was up there as Luza in the lower right of the screen will take third from Connor Jones. Luza up one more position. Problem is he might run out of time in trying to catch the top 2 as they're exiting turn 2 now. He's in the middle of 1 and 2. He finds himself 2 occasions this week. To the inside for the runner-up spot. Here comes Luza. Should be able to pull this pass off. Brown giving plenty of room. Will drop back to third.
Luza's got a really fast race car. I just don't think he's got enough time without something happening here to close the gap. Ryan Luza across the stripe in second.
Second place finish for Ryan Luza. Great week he's had. Jacqueline?
Yeah, Ryan's catching his breath a little bit there. You had quite the rocket ship in those final few laps. Were you hoping that you're going to be able to capitalize on another win tonight?
Yeah, I was hoping they were going to battle a little bit harder, but Katie ended up getting by him. Or we really needed a caution. I just got Doored by the 24 up on the restart, fell back to 5th. Just can't really make up that much ground here in these pro cars. I think we had something for him, but didn't quite have enough time. Just got to thank everybody who's on board, Nouveau Elevator, AMS Roofing, Pat, and everyone at Jet Motorsports for this opportunity.
Ryan Luza going to bring it home in second place for that 77.
Definitely a good run for Luza. Like he said, he was hoping they'd battle a little harder so he could catch him, but he just couldn't as he was mired a little too far back.
Finally, Friday, World Series of Asphalt Racing Night 7, the Heart to Heart Pro Late Model 100. Team Jacob, love you, Tom, was amazing. How the Lord got me to do this Friday morning before you showed up.
7 has been getting. In fact, Cruz got inside of Jones on a recent restart. Back to green at New Smyrna Speedway. 47 to go.
Another great restart by Ryan Luza. Connor Jones trying to hang tough to the outside, but he will fall back in line. Connor taking that second position free and clear. Brent Cruz holding on to the third spot. And now Eddie McDonald side by side with Hunter Wright. Here comes a challenge for the lead into 1.
Jones laying a little bit of bumper to the 77 car of Luza. Here again, Luza and Jones side by side in our front row.
Pace car on pit road. Luza picking up the pace. Looks like Connor Jones may have put the power down a little bit before Jones was able to. He's going to get the advantage down into 1. Hunter Wright also going to pull alongside Luza. Now Luza's going to get the good drive off of the bottom of turn 2. He's going to stick the nose out front. Good battle for the lead. There's Brent Cruz alongside Hunter Wright. 2 rows deep, side by side, battling for the front 4 positions.
At this stage of the race, I still say no one has anything for that 77. It is fast. He closes the door on the 44 of Jones on the back straightaway. See what he can do here. Jones moved him over after the last restart. In fact, does so again. Gets back to the inside on the front straightaway. Jones getting pretty racy here. 44 laps to go.
Connor Jones throwing the bumper to Ryan Luza there. He moves him up the racetrack and now pulls alongside. Luza uses the momentum that he builds up from the top lane to sneak that nose out ahead. But yeah, the 44 car, Connor Jones, really strong to the bottom side of the racetrack. Cruz throwing the fender to Hunter Wright down into turn 1.
A little bit of rubbing in the top 4 spots. Now Luza clears the 44 car of Jones. Jones again into the corner. Bumps again slightly the 77 of Luza. I think now Luza can gain some ground, get some space to go for Luza. Impressive all week long. Ryan Luza has driven this Jet Motorsports car, and then among the fastest each
car
night.
is off at turn 4. Ryan Luza looking at the white flag. Final time around. Cleanly down into turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. No pressure at all. Ryan Luza just half a lap away from victory here in the Heart to Heart 100.
Former champion of the Pro Lates at Five Flags Speedway. Tonight at New Smyrna Speedway, the winner of the Heart to Heart 100, Ryan Luza.
But a great way to end the week for one of the most dominant cars of the week. Ryan Luza picking up win number 2 and doing it in style here, picking up the victory in the Heart to Heart 100.
Tour Type Modified 100 lapper Richie Evans Memorial is coming up next. And there's Luza. What a week he's had. We go down to Victory Lane to hear from our winner, Ryan Luza.
Ryan Luza is going to exit out of that 77 winner tonight. Received congratulations from his Jet Motorsports team. Ryan, congratulations on the win in this feature event. What was the key to your success?
We just had track position early on. I think we had the best car. Just hard to hold off Connor. He fired off really good there for 4 or 5 laps, but once we got going, we were better. But yeah, just all track position. We hit the invert pretty well. Tried to play the game in qualifying. Just can't thank all the Jet guys enough. Daryl with AMS Roofing. Shout out to Daryl. I know he's watching. Nouveau Elevator, and just everyone that makes this happen.
You had several restarts there where you had to conserve your tires. How were you able to do so?
I don't know. We weren't really conserving there. Connor wouldn't let me. I knew he wasn't going to let me. I was just hoping the guys behind him were driving as hard as we were. But we kind of just took off there and set sail.
Ryan Luza, your feature event winner tonight in the Pro Late Models.
Yeah, what a week for Ryan Luza.
And just never look back. You know, the 44 was catching you there for a little while, but then towards the end just really got out front and just talked to us about the good night.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were a lot better than he was, but he was really good there for about 5 or 6 laps. So it's really hard to hold off. I knew he was going to be aggressive. I was ready to give it back to him, though, but I don't think he wanted to be too aggressive because he had the championship on the line. But thanks to Connor for racing me clean.
So now moving forward, you know, you're always unsure about what you're doing next, but now you've had such a good World Series. What would you like to do next?
Still unsure. I mean, I want to go race every week. You know what I mean? That's always the goal. Got to thank everyone who helps out, AMS Roofing, Nuvo Elevator. Couldn't do it without them. So hopefully we do a little bit more racing, but just thanks to everyone.